My name is Fabrielle Rivera, and I'm doing this for Professor Odapalli for the lab final exam. Today I will be talking about or answering question 1 from set 1, which is what is the difference between COVID-19 and corona? What is the difference between viruses and bacteria? Why does it take so long to make a vaccine? What measures am I taking to make sure I'm keeping myself safe, and how am I educating others to keep themselves safe? So for the first question, there are 7 different strands of coronavirus, and COVID-19 is one of them. COVID-19 is the 3rd strain and is said to be one of the worst due to how severe the symptoms can be. The symptoms are similar to SARS, which stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, and MERS, which stands for Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, which both of them are also strains of the virus. The differences between a bacteria and a virus is that bacteria are single-celled microorganisms that can live in different types of environments, while viruses are much smaller and they require a living host in order to multiply and invade cells. Viruses, they have the tendency to manipulate the cell's machinery in order to reproduce itself and multiply. What causes COVID-19 is SARS-CoV-2 and its structure. The structure is a spherical shape and it has spikes. The spikes are its proteins, and what it does is that it latches on to the human cell and it changes the cell structure and it fuses to the cell's membrane. So the reason why it takes scientists so long to create a vaccine is because it first has to go through a university lab and needs to get tested on animals. After it is tested on animals, it will then go through a company or several companies, and then it will then be tested. They'll go through several trials, and they'll be testing it on groups of people, whether it's like large groups, small groups. And after they test on people, they will see if like the recipients will be able to fight against infections. And then if they do, they will be able to distribute it. For this virus, it took about 70 different companies to be able to create this as fast as possible, because the more companies working on it, the more information they're getting and the more experiments they're doing, and it'll just be faster. The measures that I am taking to make sure that I am safe is that I am constantly wearing my mask. I truly believe that it is a very preventative source. I am also, because I wear gloves all the time now. I don't really feel safe if I'm not wearing gloves when I'm working with a lot of people and stuff and items. I'm constantly washing my hands, and I really rarely ever touch my face. I don't fully rely on hand sanitizer. I just wash my hands because I feel safer. And the way I'm educating others is to encourage them to wear their mask and to make sure they're wearing it properly, because just by wearing it like under the nose, you can still be able to breathe in. If somebody wasn't wearing a mask, you can still breathe in those particles that are out in the air. And I encourage them to not touch their face as well if they're not able to wash their hands at the moment and stuff. But yeah, just making sure that they're safe, just as I am, because everybody's safety always comes first. So now I'll be talking about the comments I made to my peers. And the first comment was to Ifoma. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced her name. And it was about how I thought it was very interesting of where life first originated from. And it came from stromatolites. I think that's very cool because without it we wouldn't be here. The second is from that I made to Iris, and it was about the solar system being related to the Bohr model. I think it's a very great representative way because the sun is like the nucleus and the planets are like the electrons. And the last one is to Yosef about the intermolecular interactions, and I didn't know how many interactions there were. Thank you.